Ladies and gentlemen, the interesting thing about consumer behavior and how we spend money is that most of our decisions are not based off our own free will and what we actually want. No, most of our decisions are quietly influenced by clever marketing tactics developed through careful research by greedy, profit-hungry corporations. Not to sound too dramatic, although based on what I see in the data, it is clear you guys love drama. But most of our consumer decisions are actually driven by manipulation. Especially in the last 20 years or so, we have seen many new marketing tactics or consumer trends that influence how we spend our money. And they're not necessarily a bad thing because we all gotta do what we gotta do to make a living. But it's important to be aware of these consumer trends so you don't get manipulated by them. And so in this video, I want to talk about 10 consumeristic trends that are manipulating you into spending more money, because when you can see them, you're less susceptible to be manipulated by them. And the first trend is target advertising. Back in the day, advertising was very innocent, where you might be driving and you would see a billboard advertising a product. However, in the last decade, advertising has gotten much more creepy, where instead of just you seeing the advertisement, now the advertisement can see you. And how does it do that? Well, companies like Google and Facebook, who make most of their money through advertising, will offer you a bunch of free services. And why are they doing that? Why are they giving you all these services that are completely free? Well, because when you use these products, they can collect information or data on you to know what your interests might be, where you are going, and what you might be thinking, and then analyzes data and choose specific advertisements that you might be interested in, which is called target advertising. Every advertisement that you see, including the one that you saw in this video, is specifically targeted for you based on the information that they have collected on you. And this marketing strategy, this consumer trend, is extremely effective and is causing people to spend more money than ever. Now, the second trend is all access advertising. Now, in addition to advertising being very innocent back in the day, it was also very limited, where most of the advertisements you saw were located outside the house, on billboards and in stores, and some were located on the inside of the house, like on the radio or on TV. However, another big shift to advertising that has occurred in this past decade is that there are no longer limits to where companies can advertise to you. Now companies can advertise in your kitchen on your Alexa, or in your bed as you're scrolling through your smartphone, or on your toilet as you're scrolling through your smartphone. There are no limits to where we can see advertisements anymore, and because there are no limits, we are seeing more advertisements than ever nowadays. I mean, according to one article, in the 1970s, the average American saw between 500 to 1,600 advertisements a day. But in 2021, the average American saw 6,000 to 10,000 advertisements every day. And when people see more advertisements, they're generally influenced to spend more money. Now, the third trend is bot reviews. A huge thing that influences our decision to buy something is hearing from other people that the product is good. I mean, if you were in the market to buy a shelf and your friend said, "This shelf I bought is really good quality," you'd probably be influenced to buy it. Because as humans, we value each other's opinions. However, the internet has manipulated this trust to get us to buy products, where you can go into Amazon and type in shelf, and naturally, you are more attracted to the products with the most and highest amount of reviews. Because naturally you think, if all these people took the time to write these positive reviews, it must be a good product. However, the truth is that a huge amount of these reviews are fake. Most of the reviews on Amazon are fake. They're just written by bots. They're trying to influence your decision to spend more money. And it often works because it's very hard for us to comprehend that they are not real. Now, the next trend is secret sponsored content. Now, I am sure that you know what sponsored content is. An advertiser will pay a publisher or creator to promote a product. And I do sponsored content every now and then. However, I think that there are two different types of sponsored content. The first is obvious, where the publisher or creator will directly promote a product. You clearly know that it is an advertisement. The second way, however, is less obvious, where a publisher or creator will indirectly promote a product, where you think you're reading an article about the best credit card, but in reality, it is just an advertisement to promote the credit card. In this indirect promotion, this secret sponsored content often influences people to buy a product because they think that they're seeing an honest opinion about something. But in reality, it's just an advertisement trying to convince them to buy it. And it often works. Now, the fifth trend is polarized marketing. Now, in my videos, I don't like to talk about anything that could be polarizing or divisive. However, this next trend is just too juicy not to talk about. At least in the United States, things are becoming more polarized than ever, where you're either on one extreme or the other, which creates tribalism, where you buy a product not because you like it, but because it's your tribe and it's in spite of the other side. And the best example of this is a few years ago, the chocolate company Hershey's made an advertisement on Women's Day with a trans woman. And it made some people upset. Let's just say it triggered a certain group of society. However, shortly after, the Daily Wire decided to capitalize on this and made their own Women's Day chocolate advertisement with she, her, and he, him chocolate bars. And regardless of whatever your opinion is, this is just a marketing strategy where one tribe is targeting the other tribe, wanting you to buy their product in spite of the other product. And because we live in polarizing times, it's effective and it gets people to spend their money. Now, the sixth trend is the subscription economy. Now, it wasn't too long ago when pretty much everything that you bought, you'd pay a one-time fee for and be the owner of it, whether it's software, movies, or books. However, in more recent years, this ownership model has been replaced by a subscription model, where instead of paying a one-time fee to become the owner of something, you now pay a monthly fee to be a subscriber of things like Adobe products, Netflix, or Kindle. And from a business standpoint, this is good because it's a never-ending stream of revenue. However, from the standpoint of a consumer, it's bad because it's a never-ending circle of monthly payments. And in the United States, unfortunately, the corporations always seem to get what they want, and the subscription model is here to stay, and it's going to cause us to spend a lot more money. Now, the seventh trend is Temu and Shein. If you are an online shopper, you have probably heard of the online retail stores, Temu and Shein. Temu sells ridiculously cheap, low-quality random products, and Shein sells ridiculously cheap, low-quality clothing. Let's just say Temu and Shein, same, but different. But these companies are becoming increasingly popular nowadays, where Temu even had an advertisement go on during the Super Bowl. And although it seems like these services are great because they can help you save money to get various products, they actually are extremely manipulative and have various psychological tricks to get you to spend more money, like extremely low prices, scarcity tactics, crazy sales, and gamification. And although it seems like you're saving money, you're just buying a bunch of low-quality products that very quickly end up in the landfill. And you just keep buying more and more and spending more and more money. Now, the eighth trend is buy now, pay later. Another ploy to get consumers to spend more money are these various buy now, pay later apps like Afterpay, Affirm, and Apple Pay Later. And the concept of these apps is very simple. You don't have the money, let us buy it for you. You can pay us back later. And it works. It gets people to spend more money, digging themselves in a deeper and deeper financial hole behind on their bills. Believe it or not, people would rather spend someone else's money to have it now, rather than wait until they can't afford it. Us human beings, we are impatient. Now, the ninth trend is sports betting. One thing that just shocks me, that is legal and I think is a testament to who our government is serving, is in 2018, the US Supreme Court ruled in favor of sports betting. The highest court of the land said that it is okay for someone to pull out their smartphone at any hour of the day and make digital bets with real money. Talk about looking out for the greater good. But sports betting is manipulation at its finest because you can bet at any hour of the day and it's causing people to spend more money and become addicted to gambling. Anything created by tech by its nature is very manipulative, and sports betting is the best example, where corporations can manipulate people for profit at the cost of their financial well-being. Now, the final trend is dopamine overload. To summarize this video, the biggest reason that people are spending more money than ever is because we are flooded by dopamine at all hours of the day. Through comparison on social media, the ease of online shopping, and the abundance of everything. And because we are flooded with dopamine, our pain-pleasure balance is off, where we seek so much pleasure that we eventually feel pain, and we try to cure this pain by spending money on various ways. But it doesn't work, it just makes us broke and miserable. We need to set aside time every single day to clear our minds from this dopamine overload, because that is the way to spend less money and be less manipulated. And those are the 10 consumerism trends manipulating you to spend money. And with that, muchas gracias, que tengan un buen día, nos vemos chicos.